if you're lactose intolerant, you can't watch this movie because it's got so much cheese.
Sorry, yeah, I gotta go. You guys can do this on your own now.
Nope, end it there. You agree 100%. I'm right. Welcome to our second live in-person recording with the Flicks fellas. How
In
are you guys
studio.
today? Day before
studio.
Thanksgiving.
New studio.
New studio, improved studio. It's a
Yeah.
lot classier
Yeah,
now.
much classier. Yeah. We don't have
There's no naked ladies paintings behind us.
We don't have the just the shitty folding table.
picnic table.
Nice wood.
Excuse me,
This
the
is real
picnic
wood.
table? I love the picnic table.
Well, it's not as nice as this table.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we had a handmade sign last time too, so that was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
But today we are reviewing the Peacock original movie, our first Peacock film,
Yes.
Psych 3. This is
Peacock.
Gus, based on the TV show Psych.
Mhm.
This movie was written and directed by Steve Franks, starring James Roday Rodriguez, Dule Hill, Timothy Munson, Maggie Lawson, Kirsten Nelson, Jasmine Simon, Corbin Burnson, and several other people, including Kurt Fuller, who is Woody Strode from the TV show, and had a classic, Psych TV show cast reunion kind
Hell
of
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's
So-
insane to me that the show was like, the show finished, and they're like, what if we made a movie? And then they're like, what if we made
A
another
second
movie?
movie. But what if we made
Streaming's
a
pretty
third
good right
movie?
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they keep doing it too, because like, if you're a fan of the show, like you just kind of wanted more at the end
Mhm.
of the series, and they're just every couple of years they're like, oh, like here's another little. It's just a long
just like a
episode.
reunion for
It's
them.
a
Yeah,
long,
it's a
it's a
long
long
episode.
episode.
Doesn't
So
really progress larger plot. I mean, like something like stuff happens to the main characters, but it's like it doesn't. There's no like overarching plot. It's just
right,
like people.
right. It's just
Yeah.
a standalone, and they kind of give you filler and what happened. In
Which
between.
I always am hesitant about these movies because of that. It's like you're making a movie to a very specific demographic. It's people who've watched this show before us.
Yeah,
Typically, you're not going to enjoy it or get it because there's a lot of usually like
Inside jokes.
subtle
things.
nuances to
Yeah.
the show and inside jokes and little things like that. I think this one kind of stands on its own. It picks up as if it's like there's a lot of backstory that happens,
yeah.
but it's not really relevant to.
Yeah, and they make
this.
it like apparent enough that like somebody just kind of coming in cold can like watch it and understand what's going on,
Yeah.
Or like with especially like Captain Lassiter and like there's subtle like hints to jokes and things like that they kind of like peppered in there, but it wasn't anything like that you can't just write off as like Sean and Gus's regular banter. you
Yeah,
know?
it wasn't like, oh, we're trying to solve a crime from 10 years ago where
Yeah.
we wrongly convicted somebody and now we
Mhm.
got to fit. Like, it's kind of all new plot.
But
I
at
do
the
think-
same time, they give enough references and meta jokes to the show
Mhm.
that if you're a fan, like you get that satisfaction from it too.
Yeah. So let's get our first reactions. James, you're
All
freshly watched the movie.
I
Why don't
am.
you
I quite
start us
literally
off?
finished the movie 2 minutes before we hit record because I've had a very busy day that I didn't intend on having. But movie overall, I thought it was beginning was kind of rough. I thought it was fun. Like it still scratches the itch of like I watched all of Psych. I loved the show. I think it was good. I think some of the jokes in the beginning felt like they were like trying to recapture some of what they had, and like it was a little too far, and I was like, I don't know. Put a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but like towards the end, I kind of really got back into it, and I did end up really liking the movie. I thought that the last third really kind of brought it home, which is I honestly think they kind of went back to their bread and butter of like getting into cases, solving cases, and stuff like that. So overall, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I'll throw it to Kev.
I liked it. I thought it was better than the first one, but I forget the second one. I'm pretty sure I watched it. I'm almost certain I did,
Mm-hmm.
but I just kind of forget a lot of what happened in it.
Well, they come out so infrequently that it's like,
Yeah.
they come out just long enough apart that you forget. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of need to watch them all like back to back to back to really
Yeah.
like keep up with it. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll do a bonus episode on the whole trilogy
Series,
so
the
far
trilogy,
of
yeah.
Psych
movies.
trilogy.
But I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. A lot of the like meta jokes, like I said before, were pretty good. And it's just good to see them back. excuse me. It's just good to see them back on the screen again, and like just seeing those characters again. Because I like James, I love Psych, like I love the show. So it was just good to see it again and just kind of relive it. And it's like a big long episode. That's all. It's just a long episode of Psych.
Yeah, they clearly had like a formula for the show that they just kind of like drew out a little bit longer for this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they're trying to make like a cinematic movie
Right.
where the plot is completely different, the characters are different. It was very much similar to the show and just longer.
Yep.
Which I don't have a gripe with, but I don't know. I was watching it. I was a little indifferent about it because I watched the whole series, but it's been forever.
Yeah, it's been a long.
It's been a long time
Yeah.
since it's been off the air, and like even the movies have been kind of coming out periodically, like progressively slow. So it's like hard to like remember exactly. And I feel like the jokes were a little too niche almost to the show that I couldn't like enjoy. I was like, I get what they're trying to make a joke here, but I don't know what the joke is.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like they could have done like bigger overarching jokes of like the cat and mouse chase between like Jules and Spencer and all this stuff. But like they kind of went for very like niche jokes, which I thought was a little hard to like appreciate, but at the same time
they went a little harder in the like pulling from older stuff or like trying to develop something new. You know, it was the formula, but I agree that there was definitely more, and I guess niche is the good idea. Like it's definitely a more kind of nuanced humor they went for in this one, I think, than like the normal Psych. Because normal Psych is just kind of really, I would say 80% of the in entertainment value of the show is Sean and Burton just going back and forth and like ad-libbing off each other, and like that's, at least for me, that was like the whole reason I wanted to watch the show. But this, I feel like it was a lot less about that. Like they did it, but it wasn't. They very quickly like developed this like super convoluted plot and then like push you through, and then like it's like they involve a lot of other people, you know, like more so than the show. So it's kind of like you lose. Like I feel like I didn't get the same, and not that like the other cast isn't talented, but that's not the reason that I watched the show, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
you feel like you want to say something.
You
want to challenge him.
No,
Let's challenge.
I'm not trying to like challenge. I just like I think I just enjoyed it more than you guys. Like I enjoyed the humor. They're still making all their pop culture references that are so good. And yeah, I thought it was funny. I laughed like a bunch. So
The success of this show and the movies is straight up their banter. I don't care about their plot. I care about their like funny dynamic and the fact that like Guster tries to be this like professional who's just as quirky in his own way and weird and like ridiculous.
Yeah.
That it's just like a good dynamic duo and the characters.
It's like Burton is like he's like trying to be an adult, but like truly they're just children in like adults' bodies, and like they're just going back and forth, and like
he makes that joke at some point about being a child, or she was like, "I'll do this when you grow up," and he was like, "That's never going to happen." Like,
why don't we do something different for this one?
Okay.
Whoa.
I want
curveball.
Whoa.
There's nobody knew about this.
I
just thought about this 30 seconds ago, I didn't know about this. I want a decision based on
needy
commitment.
I want a decision based on if you've seen the show before
Yeah.
and if you haven't seen the show. If you think you should
easy
watch or not.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is
100%.
easy.
Yeah. Kev, let's start with you.
If you've watched the show, watch this movie. If you haven't watched the show, don't watch this movie. Like it is, and that is like, there's opinions. Yeah, there you go. There's opinions, but then this is one of those opinions that's just straight fact. Like that's just what you do.
Yeah. I don't think this is a good standalone movie, if I'm going to be in mind. Like, I think if you watch the show, it's good, it's entertaining. I think if you haven't watched the show, I agree with you 100%. I don't think. Like,
I think they tried to make it a standalone movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of fell flat.
But that's not what it. That's the whole. I guess they tried. I guess that's kind of what we were talking
maybe
about
they
before.
didn't. I don't know.
No, but that's what we were talking about before, right? Is it seems a little different, right? And that's why, like, I guess because it's got the brand name Psych on it, it's all the same characters, it's all the same cast. Like I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for like the Friends reunion of like Psych, you know?
Well, and what I love about it too is that like even in the show, like the opening credits is always kind of a little bit different. The song is a variation of it. The images are different.
Yeah.
I loved the Marvel intro for this one.
Yeah.
You guys catch that? That's when they like put up Psych
yeah.
3. It's
Yeah.
like very Marvel-esque of
yeah,
like the.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
But
by
I do like that they
I'm very surprised
just
they
like
didn't get
keep
that.
Yeah.
the
The
that they
same
just
song.
keep the intro and it's like clips from the show still.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
just whatever their last intro
They're just like, ah, just
was. They're
plug it
just
in,
like, we'll
change
just-
clips
yeah,
3
we'll
and
do-
5, and
yeah.
call it a day.
Yeah, change the graphics a little bit, but
Yeah.
all in all, it's
They have
like
a lot
still
of the same
episodes.
B-roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you give your decision? Sorry.
So watch the show, click play.
Okay.
Not. Oh yeah, I won't smack. Watch the show, click play. Don't watch the show, keep scrolling. Right.
Watch the show, kick play. Didn't
If
watch
you
the show.
watch
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show,
okay.
click play.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch the show, keep scrolling. In my opinion.
I agree. I think if you watch the show, you're going to enjoy this because it's, like we said, a long episode.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't watched the show, you should go watch the show and then watch this.
Oh, the
Yeah,
show's
you
so
should
good.
watch the show.
It's a great
We're
show.
not a show reviewing podcast, but you should
It's a
watch
good-
Psych.
it's a good show.
We're not, but it's also what I love about this too is that it's like they're edgy still. Like they
Yeah.
play like the
Yeah.
cards. They're not like they're still like they. That's what their show was. I feel like so great about is that like there was this like black white dynamic that was like funny, and I feel like they kept going with it. and They didn't pull back,
Yeah.
which I
It's
like.
also very Scrubsy. Like it feels
Yeah.
very Scrubsy.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that like JD Turk in the same way as like Burt and Guster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sean Spencer. I don't know why I forgot his name for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our first reactions. We'll be right back with more spoilers and in-depth analysis. And we're back.
We are back. Let's get right into it. No, come on, son.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah, there's no come on.
I didn't,
was looking.
I didn't hear that at
Yeah,
all.
I was looking for a lot more. Like they did
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's
Which one?
the soft like thing that Gus does when somebody like disses him.
Yeah.
He goes like,
What you talking about? What like the
it's like lips don't move, sound comes out.
Yeah.
yeah.
which is ironic
Which
because
is a
he's
joke, a big joke in the movie. But they did do some of their old jokes like the
Tap
the
Man.
Jackal Switch.
They talked to Jackal
They
Switch,
did talk about Tap Man or
Tatman and the
Catch.
catch. Yeah.
wait, sorry.
That's like a reference. Like it's like one episode they dress up like superheroes, and Gus is the Tap Man, which is like a tap.
'Cause there's a
dancing
vigilante.
superhero.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like they were so specific their references,
Yeah.
which like
Which is like you
it would
kinda
be
like-
great if I just watched the show because it would all be fresh. But
Yeah,
like
but
it's
I mean,
been
Obviously, you're
years.
not a true fan if you didn't.
I am a true fan. I promise. I swear. I love
The
it.
whole show, yeah.
Um,
But no, I haven't watched the show in like 6 years, and I was like, oh man, what did that look like? You know what I mean? Like I knew
Yeah.
what it was, but I was like, I don't like. It's like I feel like you're the farther you get away from the show ending, the less you're allowed to pull from the show. You know, like
I
'cause
don't
it's-
know. Especially like I think it's okay with a show like this. Like Psych's got some diehard fans.
100%.
And this is just like made for them, so like they can pull whatever they want
Yeah.
from whatever. and
You
be
know what's
okay.
funny though? I'm waiting for the moment where Psych has its like office moment or its Parks and Rec moment or Friends moment even, like where it comes onto a streaming service and the younger generation who didn't grow up with it just like binges it like crazy and then makes all the references. And then I think these movies will be more like
Yeah,
relevant. I don't know if it'll happen though.
though because it's on Peacock and like no one has Peacock.
Is it on-
Peacock is actually one of the
is
most
it-
popular.
Is it?
Is it on
Yeah.
Peacock?
Yeah, it
Psych
is all on Peacock. It
Okay.
was-
That's what I was looking
But it was on Amazon Prime right before that, so and it didn't get that.
That's something. It
moment,
needs to be on
so-
Netflix. I feel like
Yeah,
to
like
get that
something like
breakout moment because
It was on Netflix when we were in high school. That's
It
how
was.
I
Yeah.
started.
That's how I started watching
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
I think I actually had CDs at one point of it
Really?
come in. Yeah.
Damn. So we were watching the movie, right? So Alex was watching the movie with me, and she was watching at the beginning of the movie. She looks and she's like, "That guy looks like somebody," and I was like, "The Burton Guster's character?" He's like, "No, Sean Spencer. He looks like somebody from something that I've seen before," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then she's like, literally for like 20-30 minutes, she's like Googling sitcoms, movies, casts.
That
You know they have
ABC
an app.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah, IMDb
yeah,
does
yeah,
it
yeah,
for you.
100%. But we get to a point where like we went to go grab dinner or something, like literally grab or like set up dinner, and I paused the show and it says Psych 3, and she's like, "Wait a minute, they're from Psych?" I'm like, "We're literally watching
This is Psych.
Psych
We're
the
watching
movie."
Psych.
And then she goes, "Oh my god." I've been looking for so long. I saw her phone. She's like on Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother. Like she's like scrolling all like this streaming like.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
It
She didn't even
reminds
think
me
to ask
of-
what the movie was.
Yeah. That reminds me of now it's a Dissing Your Girlfriend podcast. Julia the other night, and she was like, don't tell anybody this story. And I was like, I'm going to. And now I'm going to tell it to anybody who listens to this podcast. And I put on Wedding Crashers. It was on TV.
Mhm.
And we're sitting watching it. And she goes, so wait, do they crash weddings? I was like,
And funerals.
Yeah.
Later on.
and I was like, that has to be the dumbest question you've ever asked. Like, that has
That's
to
so
be it.
good.
How about there were a couple like really good. I'll say it again, and I'm doing that thing where I say the same thing over and over. But it's such a meta breaking the fourth wall jokes.
So fucking
Is
funny.
So the first one was he makes a reference to. Sean makes a reference. Someone says Rodriguez.
yes.
And he makes
there's
a reference to the fact that his name is James Rodriguez, but when he was becoming an actor, he changed it to Roday.
Yeah.
And then more recently, he brought
He brought it back,
it
which
back.
I was just reading the credits and I was like, wait, I don't remember his last name being Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a reference to the movie.
Yes, and he says it's been there all the time. It's been
Yeah.
there the whole time.
Yeah.
And then when the girl crashes her car in the
Mhm, that was the
pit,
best one.
Died
and
laughing.
literally when he's talking about, she says, do you watch the USA Network? And he's like, not since 2014, which is when their
They
show
got
went
off.
off.
Yeah.
Except for Suits until
Except for Suits, yeah.
No, what the best is right before that,
Peacock, yeah.
they were like, it's on Peacock. And like, what's that?
Yeah, she's like, I'm an actor. And they're like, what are you on? And
He's
he's like,
like,
a show on Peacock. And they're
Yeah.
like, what's that?
Yeah, they're like,
he's
no-
no
has-
one's gonna watch
no
that.
one's
Yeah,
ever-
yeah.
There's so many streamers.
So
now.
meta. Yeah.
Like those jokes were so good.
It's pop culture. Like
Yeah.
they I feel like a lot of the best moments of Psych are like them dipping into like somewhat like it's not relevant. It's like just past relevant
Yeah.
or like 4 years old relevant.
Mhm.
Where it's all still in our
Well,
minds.
it's also, you got to keep in mind, like, they're an older show.
Yeah, yeah,
So they're
exactly.
kind
That's
of
the
like
point.
bringing back to their
Yeah,
time.
but it's honestly it's this Goldilocks zone where it's like no one's actually talking about that anymore. But
Yeah.
like you all had just finished talking about that, or you finished talking about that somewhat recently, so it's still in your head, and then you talk about it, and everyone goes, "Heh."
I love that they brought back Kurt Smith. Like I guess the show just has like
Yeah.
a good
That's a
relationship
contract
with
with
him.
him.
Yeah. But when he's like, you're not gonna get Kurt Smith to be in your wedding, and then he calls Kurt Smith. I was like, this is so good. Another callback to the show.
Yeah.
What episode was that?
I don't. So that was the one thing. Kurt Smith, I didn't remember in the show. Like I remember.
Oh,
like,
it was the
I-
billionaire. It was the billionaire when they meet that billionaire. Like he was like a behavioral analysis guy. Remember that? It's the dude from Lost who always looks like he's wearing like eyeshadow or eyeliner.
Oh, yes.
And
yeah.
he just pays Kurt Smith to sit in his backyard and play guitar.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
And they go in the back, and Sean and Gus are like, "Is that Kurt Smith?" They're like, "Play Mad World." That was very good.
So we obviously like this. It was funny. Has a lot of jokes back to the show. I want to talk about a gripe.
Nice.
Okay.
That's what we do most of the time.
What was the point, not only of her really like changing her name,
It doesn't make any
creating this fake story, Selene? How do you say her name?
Selene.
Selene.
Selene, yeah.
Fake story doesn't make sense. Fake sister, no point for that.
Yeah.
And then also, like, the sister is on a high-speed chase away from them.
Wrecks her car.
Wrecks her car, tries to almost kills herself because she drives off a cliff.
For what reason?
And then they're like, hey, tell us this information. And she goes, okay, here's all the information you want.
yeah,
It's like-
yeah.
Like, why not just tell them from the beginning?
Right.
Because you have an intact car if you do that.
But like, see, and the plot, I mean, is not great. Like, it's nothing special. But also,
it's not good.
for-
It's not-
but like, it's just like a campy episode plot. Like
Yeah.
this would be. I could see this being a plot in an episode
Right.
and playing out exactly like.
But
like
I
it
think
did.
I think that's where different. Like, this whole could have been a plot. They could have cut that sequence out, that storyline,
Yeah.
and made it one episode.
Yeah.
I think they literally put that in just to try to make a movie out of it. But then they were like, wait, but it has actually no relevance to anything. Like, and they're like, oh well,
Yeah.
keep it in.
Yeah.
Like the whole until they meet the ex-husband, all that shit doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? You throw all that shit away until they're talking about the moon pies in the weird house. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's when the plot starts, and that's when I was like, okay, this is like a Psych episode. You
Yeah.
know? Because like everything before is like kind of plot, kind of it was supposed to give you intrigue. And like I was like this is a little weird, doesn't make any sense, but like whatever, I'll watch it because it's Psych. And then I get to there and I'm like, okay, now I'm here. Like, okay, there's like an actual plot. Because there wasn't a case before that, really.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like they were having like relationship problems between, you know, Gus and Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how they brought up the plot point of Woody being like on trial
For impersonating a
Yeah.
doctor.
and then they just like leave it.
Let it
Like,
go.
They just let
Doesn't
it go.
go back
Yeah.
to
Woody was a great late addition to the show. Like he
Mhm.
didn't come into like one of the later
Later.
seasons,
Yeah.
but all time funny. I did watch the second movie because that was the plot of the second movie. It was kind of like a Hangover. Remember?
You're
Yes.
trying to find Woody.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
they were trying
no,
to
I was
find.
trying to find Lassie.
Yes,
He
they were
was
trying to
Lassiter,
find
yeah.
Lassiter. Yep.
Though
Yeah.
the movie's called Lassie Comes or Come Home Lassie or Lassie
Yeah,
Comes
something
Home.
like that.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the movie names are hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
Gus,
Yes.
this is Gus, also a funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meta reference.
Which
too.
I think was Lassiter in This Is Us.
No.
Are you sure? Because I feel like I was reading about his stroke, and they said something that he was filming during This Is Us, and I think that's why the name.
he wasn't in. I watched like the first 3 seasons. He was not in the first 3 seasons, so he might have come later.
I only watched the first season, so I
But-
don't know.
But Sean was in. James
But
Roday
he's
was
in a
in
million
like
little
a
things.
similar
Yeah.
drama on
Yeah.
ABC. But yeah, they just like left that plot of Woody like
Completely.
just like all right,
He
like
is in This Is Us.
He is right.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is.
I think that's when he had a stroke because they were like they had to pause filming for that, or
And
something
they
like
were
that.
filming the first Psych movie when he had the
Yes.
stroke, and they had to reshoot the whole movie because he was a big like
big character in it, and then he
character in
wasn't.
it,
Yeah.
and then he couldn't act in
Yeah.
it. So
Mhm.
he was in it for like I think Sean like FaceTimes him or something. But yeah, I'm glad he's doing well too, though, that he's like actually able to act a little bit. And then that scene of with Sean's dad and him on the porch felt like really meta
Yeah.
in that conversation, like talking to him about his life now. So I thought that was actually really well
Yeah.
done too.
Yeah, it was cool
Um,
that they had that little subplot in there. I did like that.
Yeah.
The subplot of
Loved
like,
his daughter too.
Well, yeah, the daughter's
The
Yeah,
daughter
that
was
was
great,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
that subplot I was a fan of. Like Sean's dad and Lassiter kind of bonding over like their, you know, like not shared trauma, but like essentially like, you know, like he sees Sean's
Being on
dad
the
sees he's
force,
going
yeah.
through a hard time. He's been going through a hard time. He's trying to help him reconcile. That was good, and I think that was like the only subplot. Like there was one too many subplots.
There was another subplot that also went completely on, like
Yeah. Remind
Discussed.
me. Yeah.
that we just
okay.
talked about kind of right before we started recording. The fact that Spencer and Jules
Oh yeah.
were having this like, should we have a baby? We agreed not to have a baby
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. And then there's a lot of references to being like, no, like you do everything Gusto does. Like you're obviously gonna have a baby. And he's like, no, we're not. And then like
There's no resolution.
there's a baby crib built for him. And then they
Right.
just never like actually say like they finalize it that they're not gonna have a baby, or they never really say that they are,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is like
I
yeah,
thought it was gonna be like at the end, like after Sean literally delivers.
Child.
yes, that he would be like, oh, I want to do that with my child. type
right,
of thing.
or like she was gonna like show like a positive pregnancy test or something
Yeah.
like
Or
that.
like, or either
But
even
then
in
they
the
And then
just,
that would be
left
like the
it.
fourth
And,
movie.
I mean, obviously there is going to be a fourth movie. They left it open to one, and I'm sure Peacock
Mhm.
isn't going to waste an opportunity to have
Mhm.
some original stuff.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll see.
I don't think that
We-
they're gonna bring this guy back. Do you?
Who?
The guy gets away.
Oh, did you watch the post credit scene?
I am.
I was in such a rush I didn't watch the post credit.
Okay,
I
yeah.
figured there would be, but I was like, I have to go. I can't.
It's him in like a dark room developing photos of
Mhm.
Guster and his ex-wife.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I figured there would be a fourth Fun fact, actually, my sister via Zoom met.
Dule Hill.
Now I don't know if Dule Hill was on the call, but James Roday Rodriguez.
Wow.
Yeah, because she is pretty high up at Peacock, and I think they were talking about promotions for. I don't know if it was this movie or the one before. It must have
Yeah.
been this one because.
What the heck? We should have had him on our show.
I know, we
with all
coulda
these
gone-
viewers. Yeah, talk about promotion.
But
Put him on our press tour.
I remember her like Snapchatting me, and I was like, "Wait, who is that? It's all blurry. You like take a better picture." And she was like, "I can't. It's James O'Day Rodriguez."
That is so
"Oh,
cool.
shit."
Did you tell her that we're reviewing the movie?
Not yet. No, I don't
Mm.
tell anybody
Let
because
hell
this is
know.
very secretive information
Top
until
secret,
it's
top secret.
released late by Kevin.
Ooh.
It was a heavy night of drinking.
Talk about a
last night,
meta.
boys.
joke.
Yeah. It was a heavy night of drinking. The episode came out late. I apologize.
Apologize to viewers. Apologize to
Yeah,
our fans.
there's a camera. Apologize.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry
For what?
for putting the episode out late.
Which episode?
Stop bullying me.
Stop.
Plug our other episodes, Kevin.
Technically, I think that overall there was a lot they tried to establish that there was no resolution, right? Like the Karen storyline with her family, the
Yeah.
Woody storyline
Oh, so
that kinda
sad.
dropped off.
Yes,
It was
it
super
was
sad. The like a lot of stuff with what's it called? Like the fake life of his wife. There's just a lot of like it seemed like there was like it was almost like a brainstorming session of like, hey, we want all these characters to do all these things.
Everybody kind of had their own plots and like
Exactly.
set up for another movie or
You should
show.
just done
Like,
a season. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, do you think they should just come back as
Yeah.
a show, or do you like the
I
the
think
idea of just doing movies?
if they're gonna come back, they got to come back as they were because Scrubs tried to come back different, and that was not good.
This is one of the few movies that we have with repeat actors,
what was
and it's
Dule-
Dule Hill.
Oh right, he was just in
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. Oh my
yeah.
god, that
And
was
he
was
was
just in
such a
So
different
bad.
character. He was like
That character sucked.
yeah, the character did kind
That
of suck.
character
Sorry,
was
Dule
written-
Hill.
yeah.
I love you. I seriously, you're a fantastic.
I don't know
actor.
if he's gonna be listening.
I mean, if he does though, I need him to understand.
I love you. I'm in love
Wait,
with you.
do you know this is classified as a 2022 movie?
Well, that's wrong
On
because it's not.
Rotten Tomatoes for some
That's
reason?
weird.
I don't
It's
know.
not correct.
Okay, let's start with Rotten Tomatoes.
Kevin, you go first because I want to play off you like Joey does.
So Rotten Tomatoes, you have to scale up a little bit, right? Because it's not like Metacritic.
They're not
like,
rude.
It's
They're
not
like-
like.
I would give you advice if I had already guessed, but you
All right,
know.
fuck you. I'm going like an 80
No
I'll
way.
go safe.
No way you're going 80. That's
or like
wa-
79.
That is far too high.
Not on Rotten Tomatoes.
You said, are you saying 80 or 75? You
No, I
land.
said 79 or 80.
79
I'll go
or
80. Yeah.
Don't pull a Joey.
Uh,
Make a
It's,
decision.
it's Rotten
Stick with it.
Tomatoes. It's
All
Rotten
right, so
Tomatoes.
you're,
They're not
you're
as
chilling
harsh.
at 80. That's fine. 54.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's rotten. You're saying it's
You're
a
saying it's a
rotten
rotten
movie.
movie.
It's a stanky tomato.
I think it's fresh.
So
Don't do the audience score because that shit's always like 90.
I just realized there is no tomato meter score.
Oh
for this.
my
It's just the
God.
audience score, which is at an 89.
yeah, it's gonna
Who
be
called
because the people
That was
watching
so
it are
funny.
people
This
who
is-
want to watch it.
Yeah, this
Like,
this is audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for every fucking movie. It goes,
Do you want to try the IMDb score at a 10?
I like
With
the
one
audience
decimal point?
score better
yes,
than.
let's do IMDb score.
Oh,
No, 'cause
okay.
it's the audience score, and audience, you know.
IMDb
trust.
score is still based on
Audiences.
audience reviews.
Yeah, but it's
Mhm.
IMDb, and it's like a smaller number, so
I'm gonna go like 8.6 after hearing that.
I'm gonna go 6.5.
Why would you? Do you not learn from
Did
like
you not learn what we just
from
thought?
information? The
I wanna
audience
fan
liked it.
based.
You're a fucking idiot. What is it?
8.2.
Yeah, see, you're dumb, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be dumb, but like, I think the audience is too.
No, because the
Not
audience.
our audience, their audience.
I agree. I think that movie.
I think
is
it's
an eight. Yeah.
Fits for the demographic of this movie is people who watch Psych and enjoyed the banter between the two characters.
Mhm.
That's what they gave you. It's
Yeah, it was good.
a quality movie.
Yeah.
Let's double down. I started with James last time. Kev.
I'm
no.
getting more and
No,
more
you started with
frustrated.
me.
You started,
I started-
okay.
yeah.
I'm getting more and more frustrated with this movie. It makes me want to double scroll. I don't really want to double scroll. I did
Double
enjoy the
scroll.
movie. I enjoyed the movie. I'm just frustrated from the fact that the audience is like, this movie's amazing, because it's really not. It's not amazing.
It was the highest rated Psych movie on IMDb as well.
Yeah, I liked it better than the other ones. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's better. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I like the first
I
one.
like the first one.
Sucked.
No, I
because of
kinda
the
enjoy-
I
the
like the- I
reshoots. It made no sense.
I
Nothing made any
remember that I
sense.
liked
I
the
don't think this
first
one made a lot of sense, to be
a lot
honest.
This
more.
one felt more like an episode of Psych.
This
than
is
it
a
did than
movie
the other
that
one.
I'm going to forget in like 2 months. The first one I still remember.
I don't remember like anything from
I
that
remember
first
that I-
movie
I remember
other
it was a
than
big
it
crime. I
fucking
can't-
sucked.
yeah.
No, you were like on a stage. It had to do like a big music production. But
No, it didn't.
regardless, what am I thinking of?
Let's digress. We'll do
Yeah.
a whole bonus episode on what
Yeah,
the first two
yeah,
movies
yeah.
actually were.
Regardless,
Because
I am gonna double down. I'm gonna say click play if you watched Psych all the way through, and keep scrolling if you haven't. It's not worth your time.
I'm doubling down. Press play if you watched. Keep scrolling if you didn't.
that's same here.
Same.
Yeah.
Squad.
Again, it's not. I think
If you watch Psych, go watch this
I think if
movie.
you watch
There's no
Psych-
reason not to.
you should also probably like go watch a couple episodes of Psych first, just to kind of
Yeah.
like any random episode. Doesn't matter.
I want another
Like-
season. Give me one more season.
I
don't
think they
I
should
would
do
like
a
another
limited
season.
season.
Yeah, I think
I don't
and-
necessarily think it should be a whole show, but like a one season. I could do it.
Yeah, like a nice. I mean, maybe not 22 episodes like they used to do
Like 12.
for
Yeah.
Yeah.
cable, but
Yeah.
yeah, maybe a 12 episode season where it's one longer plot
Yeah.
and
There was a severe lack of Buzz McNabb in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
he only had one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which that also opening scene I thought there was going to be more. I thought that was going to be the storyline kind of like the lawyer.
Yeah.
and
They
then
also
they're just
had like Buzz McNabb. They're like Buzz McNabb's coming for your job.
Yeah,
yeah,
It was
and then
never a big deal.
there's
you
just
know?
a
Right.
lot that didn't go.
Yeah.
But
Right.
maybe they're trying to set up for season 4 and just
Yeah,
give every
maybe,
character
maybe.
a little.
Yeah.
There's
Bill.
only 3 seasons.
No,
of
no,
Psych?
no. There's 6.
No, I
No,
said
it was-
go. What I said?
Set up for
Season 4.
Sorry, movie 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We love it. Make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, you subscribe. We're trying to grow our base on there. We really appreciate it. If you're looking for us on Instagram, if you're looking to engage with us on social media, follow us at flicks_fellas. We're very active on that Instagram account. In addition, we now have a TikTok. What's the handle,
For the
Joe?
kids.
Flicks_fellas.
Same thing.
We're
Flicks.
ticking and we're talking.
We're ticking and we're
Yes,
talking.
we're youngsters
Yes.
now.
We're youngsters.
We're hip.
Yeah, I don't have TikTok, but Joey curates the TikTok.
I curate it, and it's all the same content. Whoops.
As he goes on to TikTok.
I was trying to find our handle, just make
The
sure that was
obsession
it.
is real.
Fantastic.
From pretty much all the same clips from our YouTube Shorts and our Instagram. So maybe some extra content. Who knows? Depending on how we feel, if we
Yeah.
want to do some exclusive
We
content.
can throw
you
up
gotta
some
just,
TikTok.
You got to follow us everywhere. We're
Yeah.
everywhere now. We're international.
International.
All right. Well, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.